Russell Wilson's time in Seattle might be coming to an abrupt end. A few weeks ago, he told the team he wanted a new deal by April 15th. Well, that's today. Gotta get my taxes done. According to a report, the Seahawks believe Wilson eventually would like to play elsewhere. If you're wondering where elsewhere is, just ask Chiefs All-Pro safety Tyrann Mathieu, who tweeted, "Russ wants New York, but you ain't heard that from T." CC, would the Seahawks be crazy to let Wilson leave Seattle?
Well, crazy is a little strong. They better have a plan. I mean, I think with their fan base and with their front office and how they've run things, they got tremendous confidence in Snyder, who's the general manager there, and Pete Carroll, who's the head coach. And Russell's taken them to a couple of Super Bowls. So they won't be like, oh, you know something, he underperformed. Well, how much magic do they feel like is left in taking them to two Super Bowls and getting them their first Super Bowl Lombardi trophy? So I wouldn't say it's crazy. It'd have to be one hell of a blockbuster deal, and it'd have to be explained that they're going to play a style of football that they don't believe. Putting that type of money into a quarterback that's the reason why because from a locker room standpoint, from a durability standpoint, every game you go into, you have a chance to win because of Russell Wilson. They better have a good explanation. But I do believe that the public confidence in Snyder and Pete Carroll, that will win them, that will give them benefit of the doubt.
Peter King dropped a few bombshells just a few hours ago this morning about this specific situation. What he made clear, which had not been made clear before, is that this deadline is not to work out a long-term extension this year. This deadline, according to Russell and his agent, is to work out a long-term extension ever. So what Peter King is saying is what he has heard, it seems like directly from the parties involved, is that if the Seahawks do not come to a long-term extension with Russell Wilson today, he will not negotiate with them again.
And he has how many years left?
Well, he's got 1 year left on his deal and then 2 potential franchise tags, and then he would hit the Kirk Cousins true free agency. The other note Peter King had, which is why it seems very unlikely they do get a deal done today, is that Russell Wilson and his agent, keep in mind, his agent is a baseball agent. His agent has one football client, that's Russell Wilson. They want a contract that has never been given in the NFL, which is a contract that escalates with the cap. Meaning he gets this guaranteed dollars, but also it's whichever is more, also a percentage of the cap. So if the cap raises 20%, he gets a 20% raise. And so the idea that you could sign someone to a long-term deal that by the end of it turns into a bargain, that would be removed with this type of contract.
Sure.
I would be shocked if the Seahawks give a contract that's never been given in NFL history, especially the type of football they play, especially given the resources they want to allocate elsewhere. Seahawks might be comfortable saying, okay, this year we have you for 17. Next year the franchise tag's 30. The year after that is 36. That's a lot. And do we really think that over 3 years you'll never negotiate with us? That you're going to just run the risk of getting injured, run the risk? And so, but I find it really interesting that the deadline reportedly is now or never, not now or next offseason, now or never to get a deal done with Russell Wilson.
But with the kind of football and the style that Pete Carroll plays, that offense, I don't want to say you could plug any game manager type of quarterback in there, but you can plug someone in there who probably is not as talented as Russell Wilson and still make it effective. Is that?
I'm sure there are people out there in the football world that probably agree to that. Chris Carter doesn't agree to that, because Russell Wilson makes them a special football team. He was able to allow them to rebuild and to tinker, but they haven't spent a whole bunch of money as far as offensive weapons. It was well noted by my trusty statistician, Dusty, the limited number of resources that they paid on the offensive line, worse than the NFL for 2 years. I mean, Russell Wilson was running for his life. So football's a complicated game, and there's certain guys that make it look easy, and the way they play makes it look like it would be easy for another quarterback, but no. Russell is a special, not only leader and human being, he is a special player. He can throw the ball, even though he's undersized, anywhere on the football field. He can run any system. You want to throw it 45 times? No problem. You want to throw it 20 times because we're going to run the ball, play defensive football? I'm cool with that because I'm a high percentage passer. Last 2 years in the NFL, led the NFL in touchdown passes. So I don't appropriate that skill to just anybody to be able to do. But there are people out there in the football minority not the majority, in the minority that believe that, oh, we can just plug and play because of the system they have in Seattle.
And given the fact that he's never missed a game, last year he didn't miss a single snap. Over the last 2 years, he has missed 5 total snaps of over 2,100 possible. He averages nearly 12 wins per season in his career since he got there. Second highest passer rate in NFL history. Third best touchdown interception ratio in NFL history. If he were to become available via trade, it would be the biggest blockbuster trade we've seen since Herschel Walker, maybe ever. We're talking 3 first-round picks for Rusell Wilson, and maybe Seattle is weighing how good he is versus what he's going to cost and what they would get back in what I think is what you saw the Colts get, or the Washington have to trade up to get RG3, something like that, and a little bit more to get Rusell Wilson.
But if those are his demands, he will get moved.
Yeah.
Because those demands are outrageous.
All right, let's take a break. Coming up, was Tiger's comeback Masters win the best win of his career? That's ahead on First Things First.